the most pressing point or appeal remains the need to stop hostilities, to stop fighting. I will just share a few thoughts as part of this launch with you about the displacement aspect of this crisis. The displacement is caused by the fear of bombs, by the fear of destruction, and therefore, unless that stops, we are likely to see a further escalation of displacement inside and outside. And given the figures that you know already, but that I'm about to update for you in a few seconds, you understand very well, and I tried to convey this yesterday to the Security Council, is that humanitarians will do their utmost to continue to work under the present conditions, which are very dangerous inside Ukraine and quite dramatic logistically outside Ukraine. But nobody should imagine that humanitarians can solve this problem. This is simply to try to bring some help to the people affected by but the numbers that we are beginning to see are extremely worrying. Last night at the Security Council, I reported 520,000 refugees. Now, less than 24 hours before, the latest figure, I just got it, is 677,000. So another 150,000 added in less than 24 hours. We observe from the borders queues of tens of kilometers of vehicles on the other side of the border, people waiting several days by now to be able to, many hours and sometimes days, to cross into neighboring countries. And an observation here, these are people that, observation are still anecdotal because we don't have much present. I mean, we don't have much mobility inside Ukraine to be able to monitor properly. But these are probably people with cars, people with some resources, people with connections in European countries that are moving now first. But it is likely that if the military offensive continues and urban centers are hit one after the other, that we will see more and more people with less resources, with less connections, more vulnerable in every respect. And that is really what worries us more. The figures, the figures are, I would say, about half of this. I don't have the detailed breakdown of the 677, but about half are in Poland. This is the country that is clearly, as we predicted, receiving most refugees. About 90,000, probably a little bit more, forgive me if the figures are a bit fluid, have gone to Hungary, almost 60,000 to Moldova, almost 50,000 to Slovakia, and almost, or I would say by now, 40,000 in Romania. These are the countries most impacted. Again, these are figures that are relatively reliable, but remember, people move. Sometimes they move even from one of this country to the other. So we've tried to do all possible calculation to avoid double counting, but it is, in the end, a bit of an estimate. But it is a large estimate, and it is, I think, how it should be. There's people already moving to other countries. This morning, I was talking to the Czech foreign minister, for example, who's here for the Human Rights Council. He was telling me that already several thousands have moved to the Czech Republic, which has a huge Ukrainian community. And this is what will happen. People will move to where Ukrainian communities are present. And they will, in a way, self-distribute themselves for the time being through Europe. We're also